and welcome to News at Night. I'm Heidi Ivany in for Colette Linden.
I'm Craig Huckerby. We have a couple of nice days ahead, and then we're watching that big storm for this weekend. We'll have all those details coming up.
Ontario has recorded nearly 2,000 new COVID-19 cases and confirmed 36 more deaths. On Monday, provincial health officials logged 1,969 infections of the novel coronavirus, marking a slight increase from the 1,848 cases logged on Sunday. Before that, 2,063 cases were recorded on Saturday and 1,837 on Friday. The province's 7-day average for number of cases recorded is now 1,888, down from the 2,370 1 week ago. There were 30,359 COVID-19 tests completed in the province in the last recorded 24-hour period. The province's test positivity rate now stands at about 5.2%, according to the Ministry of Health. Of the new cases logged Monday, 886 are in Toronto, 330 are in Peel Region, and 128 are in York Region. Monday's count brings the total number of lab-confirmed cases in Ontario to 270,180, including deaths and recoveries. With the 36 new deaths confirmed by health officials on Monday, the province's death toll is now 6,224. Of the new deaths, 19 were residents of long-term care homes. Thus far, 341,900 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine have been administered in Ontario, including 2,256 doses administered in the previous day. The vaccine requires 2 doses. In Ontario, 70,293 total vaccinations have been completed as of Sunday. Canada's hopes of speeding up COVID-19 vaccinations brightened slightly over the weekend as regulators began to work to approve a new inoculation, even as the federal government sought to head off any restrictions on vaccine shipments from Europe. Pharmaceutical company Novavax quietly submitted its COVID-19 vaccine to Health Canada for regulatory approval on Friday, less than 2 weeks after Ottawa finalized a deal with the Maryland-based company for 52 million doses of the shot. Because of the emergency nature of the pandemic, Health Canada is accepting applications for the vaccines before the final trial data is ready, allowing the review team to start poring over the documents on an ongoing basis rather than waiting until everything is finished. The rolling review allows for much faster approval once the final results from the clinical trials are complete. Novavax is the 5th vaccine maker to submit an application for rolling review. AstraZeneca, Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna all submitted in early October, and Johnson & Johnson followed suit at the end of November. The Ontario government is establishing 4 new mental health collaborative tables to better support the mental health and well-being of policing, fire corrections, and paramedic services personnel. The tables will help inform actions to change behaviors that stigmatize those struggling with mental health challenges, achieve a healthier work-life, supports, and tools they need to take care of their mental health. Creating mental health collaborative tables is a key recommendation in the Ontario Chief Coroner's expert panel report, Staying Visible, Staying Connected for Life, which called for more information and resources to help officers and first responders deal with mental health issues. Police responded to a disturbance in the downtown core this morning. Just before 8 a.m., officers responded to reports of a disturbance in the downtown area. Officers did locate a victim suffering from minor injuries. That person was transported to hospital, said Loudet. At this time, officers are investigating and looking for any potential information about what may have taken place in that area. They encourage anyone with information to reach out to them at 705-949-6300. For the first time in more than 10 weeks, people can legally eat inside Michigan restaurants again. Michigan's dine-in ban expired at 11:59 on Sunday, January 31st. It started November 18th in response to a second wave of high rates of COVID-19 spread. Until today, Michigan was one of only 2 states still prohibiting indoor dining statewide. While dining rooms are back open, there are still strict limits restaurants must follow. While there will be some not willing to eat out because of COVID-19 risks, Small Business Association of Michigan President Brian Calley said he believes the majority of consumers are ready to dine in again. Dozens of restaurants have been penalized in Michigan for opening illegally during the dine-in ban or for not following health rules, but thousands of others have followed the rules and prioritized safety.
Hi again, everyone. Well, after a beautiful weekend and a great start to our work week, we have some trouble heading our way Thursday and Friday. I'll give you an update on this big winter storm coming up and what it's going to bring with it. That's coming up right after this.
Have you been drinking more than usual?
Why not go dry this February? With Dry Feb, you'll
help people affected by cancer.
And you can also reduce your own risk.
Go as dry as you're willing to try. Sign up today. It's easier than you think.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, today was very nice. We had some sun. We're going to see sun and some clear conditions and calm conditions for the next couple of days anyway. Tonight we're dropping down to -14. Still a little cool, but that's actually around seasonal for us. Light winds tonight could make it a little cooler. For the evening it's going to be -8. We're going to drop down to -14. We'll take a look at the temperatures around the lake tonight. You can see where the warm air is right here in Thunder Bay, -8. Meanwhile, we're all in the minus teens, -15 again here in the Sault, -17 in Sudbury, -22. That's where the cold spot is in Timmins. So we'll take a look now at the satellite and we'll show you what's going on. This is the system we're watching right now. This is that big winter storm. It's getting itself organized. It's going to come down this way and right up Michigan, right towards the Sault. On the weekend, it kind of changed its path. The low was going to go into the Ohio Valley, which is going to give us less snow, believe it or not. But now, the latest computer models are showing it right back into the Great Lakes area, so we're under the gun for this system. We'll show you the system's map for Thursday. This is Thursday at 1 o'clock. You can see this system, very low pressure, by the way, 99.4 kilopascals. That's very low. But you can see Thursday afternoon, we're going to start seeing the cloud. We're going to start seeing the system work in. At first, we thought we might see some rain. It looks like an all-snow event at this point. If we advance now to Friday, this is just 5 hours later, you can see that system right over top of us, and you can see some dark blues there. So that's an indication of some heavy snow. But the big snow, I'm afraid, is when this low-pressure system moves out, it's going to drag cold air behind it. You can see just how close these isobars are. That means it's packing some wind. So as it pulls to the east, it's going to pull some very cold air from this high pressure system, which is going to really give us the coldest air yet of the season. So we're not done with winter yet. So let's take a look at your 3-day forecast. Not looking all that bad up till Thursday. For tomorrow, mix of sun and cloud, mainly sunny conditions. Temperatures are going to start to moderate over the next couple of days, up to -4. We should be at -5, so we're above seasonal. And look at Thursday, we could hit the freezing mark even beyond that later on in the night as we start picking up a southerly flow before that snow starts to come from that system on Thursday. It's going to stick around for Friday. Temperatures still -1, but then the cold air comes in Friday night, and that's where that lake effect and snow squall activity should begin. Temperatures then right back down to below seasonal for the next 3 days, and actually all of next week we look below seasonal. But once we're done with the snow this weekend, it looks fairly calm for next week. That's your weather right now. Jacob Moore is standing by with sports right after this.
When social distancing, remember, stay at least 6 feet away and wear your mask. Help save lives.
Welcome back to News News at Night. I'm Jacob with sports. Now let's dive right into NHL trade talk in sports today. Sidney Crosby, is he on the way move out of Pittsburgh? There's been rumors over the past week or so, ever since Jim Rutherford was forced to step down as the general manager for the Pittsburgh Penguins, that Crosby, Malkin, and Letang all might be on the move. Now, Pittsburgh ownership has said they're not looking to move any of these core players because they still feel they can win with this group. Sidney Crosby says they could still win with this group, and he says it feels very weird for the first time in his career being the center of trade talks. If Crosby moves, rumor is he's going to Montreal. Now, I think to see Crosby move to Montreal, you're going to need to see a player like Nick Suzuki and multiple draft picks going to the Pittsburgh way. So we'll see if anything comes out of that trade. Now, the next trade talks I want to get into is Sam Bennett. Their agent saying Sam Bennett wanted out. I think we'll see Sam Bennett move by some point in this season, but I don't see it happening just yet. Again, I could see maybe a team like Vancouver or maybe even Montreal who's looking to strengthen up their center core. Reason why I'm saying Canadian teams only, if they move from one country to another, they have to quarantine a lot longer, so I think teams are going to try to trade within their own division. Moving on from Sam Bennett, we're going to go to Victor Mete. Victor Mete is a solid defensive defenseman for the Montreal Canadiens. The 22-year-old in 171 career games, he only has 31 points, but again, that's not his job to create offense. He hasn't played a single game this season and wants out of Montreal. It'll be interesting to see what happens if a guy like Victor Mete. I think a team like Toronto might go for him because you know what? Toronto could use still a bit more of a rugged, tough defense core. However, I think any team in the NHL looking to strengthen their defense core could use a guy like Victor Mete. The Canucks, they're rolling. I remember last week, I was like, I know they've won 3 straight. I know they're winning games, but I don't think they're playing full 60 minutes. Well, I think they must have watched Sports with Jacob and Colette because they started playing a full 60 minutes over the weekend. Beat the Jets 4-1. They outshot the Jets. They outplayed the Jets. They had more puck possession. Brock Besser had 2 goals. Demko made 23 saves, and the team looks back to playoff form. The top line's looking really solid, and they weren't giving away a bunch of stupid possessions, which is what I like to see. The Oilers, another team that last week I was saying weren't looking so good. They're now on a 2-game winning streak. They beat the Leafs 4-3 on Saturday in overtime, so still good for Toronto. They still got that 1 point to stay top in the division and top in the NHL. Matt Murray was pulled early in the first period, and the Senators' backup goalie just wasn't able to keep the puck out of the net. For Ottawa fans, don't hit the panic button. You weren't expected to have a great season this year. You know this is a rebuilding year, and I still see the Senators on the right course. I think they're doing a lot of things right. They're just not winning games. I think Matt Murray is a bit of a concern. I'm interested to see if they end up going for another goalie, but we'll have to wait and see how the season goes. Now on to the NBA. You're thinking no OG Anunoby, no Norman Powell. They're on a losing streak, a 3-game losing streak. They won. They were able to win against the Magic 115-102. Spicy P, double-double, 30 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists. Kyle Lowry with his own double-double with 12 points and 15 assists. They were also able to out-rebound the Magic this game, out-rebounding them 48-42, which is something the Raptors have been struggling with this year. So it's great to see them able to pick up some rebounds, and they won a tough game. I think the Raptors now need to turn this one game into a bit of a winning streak because they're at the bottom of the conference, which is very weird to see for the Raptors. Normally they're at the very top. Right now they're around 10th. So I think they need to stretch some wins together and keep this momentum to keep going. But that's it for sports. I'm Jacob Moore, and we'll be right back with more news right after this.
An early morning fire Saturday kept Sioux Fire Services busy for several hours battling a house fire in the central part of the city. At approximately 7 a.m. Saturday, a fire broke out in 2 attached homes at the corner of Wellington Street and Abbott. Upon arrival, Sioux Fire Services located the structure with flames erupting from the roof and multiple residents outside. Paramedics, police, PUC, and Sioux Transit were all brought downtown to help with the emergency situation. Residents of the location were first put on a transit bus and then moved to local hotels until they could make further arrangements. Further investigation revealed the fire was a result of combustible materials in close proximity to a baseboard heater. There is significant damage to the dwelling. There were no injuries to report. Vancouver police say they issued more than $17,000 in fines and arrested a 42-year-old man at a condo penthouse allegedly operating a makeshift nightclub. Court records show Mohammed Mosavahi has been charged with 2 counts of failure to comply with an order of a health officer. According to Global News, a heavy police presence and several people were being escorted in handcuffs from the Telus Gardens at 777 Richard Street in Vancouver early Sunday morning. Police say when they attended the property Sunday, the penthouse was packed with people and appeared to be running as a nightclub or show lounge. 78 people inside the 3-level apartment and none were wearing masks, police stated in a media release. There were menus, tables, point-of-sale terminals, and cash tills found inside the home. Police issued $230 fines to 77 people for attending a non-compliant event, while the host was arrested under the Public Health Act and taken to jail. Safety and a questionable traffic study are still issues for the possible relocation of the transit terminal. The proposed location at the corner of Bay Street and Huron is also the location of the main link of the hub trail from the waterfront to the rest of the loop. The traffic study was done using numbers that were from before Bay Street was turned into 2 lanes. It also uses numbers while counting traffic during the pandemic. The report, dated January 7, 2021, states the city provided traffic turning movement counts at the intersections of Huron Street and Queen Street West and Bay Street West at Huron Street. Considered to reflect existing conditions? For the rest of the questions which have yet to go unanswered, please see the story on SiouxOnline.com. International travelers will have to take a COVID-19 test upon arrival in Ontario starting today in a bid to stop contagious new variants of the virus from further infiltrating the province. The provincial government announced the plan on Friday, the same day as the federal government announced a similar program that's to take effect in the coming weeks. Premier Doug Ford praised the Prime Minister for announcing the new federal testing plan, but said Ontario would conduct its own traveller testing until Ottawa's program kicked in. The testing order comes into effect today at Toronto's Pearson International Airport and will also eventually apply to the province's land border crossings to the United States, including the border here in Sault Ste. Marie. Well, you know, Craig, you've been talking a lot about this storm, so why don't you give us some details? Okay, well, we've been watching the storm now for about over a week now, and every 6 hours or so, this storm continues to change its track, like a lot of the storms have this winter. This past weekend, it was almost completely missing us. But today, it's back on track, and it looks like it's going to be hitting us. The big question is how much snow is coming with this storm. That's still a big question. We will have a better idea what this storm will pack in the next couple of days, and we'll be able to pinpoint it a little better. Well, thanks for that, Craig. I'm Heidi Ivany in for Colette Linden. This is News at Night, and we will have more news for you shortly.